In today's video, I'm harvesting potatoes, showing you a few new plants, some surprise plants that I found, and I'm installing an automatic timer on my drip system. If that sounds like something you want to watch, then stay tuned. These are spring planted peas. I was trying an experiment, and I think this year it worked because our weather was all over the place and it hasn't been 90s yet, except for like in February-ish. But I have some peas ready. So you just eat them like this, like a sugar snap. This one's called Sugar Daddy, and it's actually doing okay. I actually still have some carrots alive, which is crazy for me. So I finally figured out carrots, but they were too late. But I know what to do in the fall for them. So here's the ones shrouded by the peas. Peas are gonna die soon. We're gonna get into the 90s in the next week. This spinach is already, it's shrouded. So it did okay, but it takes too long to start it in the spring. So if you're in Texas, I would say peas are a safe bet for spring. I started mine in February. I might try to do early February or maybe mid-January. And then carrots and spinach probably need to be just a fall plant here in Texas. I have another pepper here, and it's kind of keeping everything off with the cage, so that's good. I pulled the spinach because it was bolting, so that's going to be a chicken snack. Or it is a chicken snack. These taters are just about ready for harvest. Man, it's crazy how they do well one day and then they're just like, I'm done. It's best to pull them before the heavy rain too, so they don't rot in the ground. The plan is to harvest all these potatoes and then start dent corn here. Usually my hair looks beautiful, but right there it looks disgusting. I did get a haircut recently. But anyway, I wanted to say about corn. The corn we eat raw is sweet corn. It doesn't matter what variety of sweet corn, it's just sweet corn. Dent or flint corn is used for cornmeal, corn flour, all that kind of stuff. It dries out and that's how you harvest it. And then there's popcorn, which obviously would make popcorn. Dent corn or popcorn is more insect resistant, so you can plant it a little bit later in the season. To my surprise, I ended up with 22 pounds of potatoes. I have several theories of why these grow bags didn't work out too good. We had 2 big freezes, so maybe some of them froze a little bit more than they were supposed to, as opposed to in the ground. And then they may have been shrouded by this tree a little bit. I don't know what the deal is. I did leave them here because they're already on drip and I didn't know where else to move them. So we'll cross our fingers for the next crop. You can probably tell that these bags did horrible. They were both started at the same time, both in the ground and in these grow bags. I can't help but think that maybe the soil was a little more insulated than these bags. I was pretty excited about putting this dent corn in because it's so pretty when it comes up, but I forgot to amend the soil, which I usually do when I till it, and I didn't record tilling it, but I will add fertilizer later. There is chicken turds and stuff in here, so they have a little bit of nutrients. In order to get the best pollination, you need 4x4 rows. I can't really do that today because my onions aren't ready yet. I have 2 really long ones, so we'll just see what happens, but I thought there were more seeds in this than there really were. I think I have 5 left over. So we'll see how the dent corn goes, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't come up. I just really thought it was really pretty. Let me show you the kernels here that I have left. Still just as pretty. But anyway, I got my potatoes harvested and my dent corn in, so we'll see what that does. I'm excited. I got little baby corns. Baby corns. If you didn't know, each of these silks is pollinated to make a kernel. So if you're not getting a lot of kernels, that means you're not getting great pollination. So the pollen that comes from here will go down to the silks and pollinate it by the wind. And that's how we get corn. Speaking of corn, my dent corn has already started to come up. I planted this on Sunday and it's Friday. Isn't that amazing? I gotta water them again, because if I water, it will rain. It's not very often that I take a vacation, but I am this year, not till like later in the year. But if I ever decide to leave for a day or two, I want to make it as easy as possible. So I got an automatic timer. Here is my timer for the drip irrigation. I already had the reducers on there. So this is a 3/8 inch hose adapter. And then this goes down to a 1/2 inch supply line that I have for my drip irrigation. I also bought some more 1/2 inch supply line. I have manual zones. What I'm gonna do is take all the zones that I want, combine, for example, this line that goes down this row of raised beds, and then this line that goes down these rows of raised beds are gonna be one zone. So I have to get this ender over to that, and then I'll make that one zone to this timer, if that makes sense. Honestly, I don't know why I've been avoiding this. This is pretty easy. It always looks more complicated than it is. I terminated this and connected it with the front one. I took out the 3-way splitter here and just made it go to the front of the greenhouse and that third line of raised beds. Okay, here's my 3 zones. I zip tied them in the middle. So now I have to work on this. I'm also gonna build a box because we have cows and they mess with stuff, and we have goats and they chew stuff. So I thought about putting it in here. I just think it's kind of an inconvenient location, so I wanted it out there where it was before. And then this is an Easy Flow fertilizer injector. So it's a 2-gallon tank. I can put a whole lot of fertilizer in it. I don't know how far it's gonna stretch, so that's why I got the bigger one. This is liquid fertilizer. I don't know if you can put granular in there. Filled with any liquid, organic, or dry water soluble fertilizer. So like Miracle-Gro, the way it comes in that powder, that can go in here, which I have some, so I might as well use it. When I showed that fertilizer burn, someone recommended this Alaska fish fertilizer, and this is actually offered in a bunch of stores. So I'm gonna try this, see how I like it. You could definitely put something like this Miracle-Gro, and that is in the powder form. That's a water soluble Miracle-Gro thing. I bought this because it'll work with the little spray nozzle that attaches to your hose. Now I have these connected, and this is all very simple to install. Don't let me confuse you or deter you from it. I need to put the pressure reducer right here, and I'm gonna need both hands. So here will be the leader hose, and then the pressure reducer, and I have it on 25 psi, and then the fertilizer injector. So this is the in line, so it brings the water into the fertilizer. It mixes here, and then this is the outline that connects here and then goes into my automatic timer that then feeds each of these zones. Okay, I wanted to test it out just alone before I did the fertilizer. I got a little antsy and wanted fertilizer, but I decided not to add it. So it's running right now, and I'll never run it this late, but it's when I had time. I did have a little bit of leak and had to tighten it there, and the cows of course helped me here. It's really easy to program. Okay, so we're on the 3rd zone. Oh goodness, that was violent. Okay, so all it does is open a shutter. Oh, that's not the one I thought would water next, but it's the in-ground portion. I don't know how well these do in the corn with this tall. I may have to rethink the water lines in here. Man, I just love changing drip all the time. And here's my little friend again, Getting all wet? Friend? Oh man, they camo good. I was just pulling weeds from my walkway and I smelt this one and I was like, oh my gosh, that is Thai basil. I didn't grow it this year because I don't always end up using it, but now I have to. This dill will probably die out, so I'm gonna put the Thai basil in there. I just gotta remember to keep it pretty watered these first few days it's in there. That's cool. Look what else I found. Obviously I have tons of celosia. Oh, you little turd. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Back to what I was doing. This right here, that's moss rose. It even bloomed. Over here next to the swing, I have a bunch of sunflower seeds, or sunflowers. And also I'm getting more basil. Lots more basil. It's gonna have to come out because it's gonna get huge. I even have some cilantro, which is weird for this time of year. And then I think this is more Thai basil. So I didn't really have to get the one in the walkway, but again, that's gonna have to come out too because it'll just shroud everything else. Unless these sunflowers just, I mean, they're already getting huge, so who knows? Oh, are you having trouble getting in? You shouldn't. Probably one of the parents. All right, I've been growing these sweet potato slips since February. These were doing awesome. I moved them out here to harden them off, and then we had to close the greenhouse because it was so windy and they got too hot and they dried out. So I put a poop ton of water in there, and now they're kind of halfway recovered. This one's probably too far in the water, but I just want to get them in the ground. It's warm enough now. I think I'm just gonna plant this whole potato, I don't know, probably, and just let it slip off of that. I've never seen anybody do that. I have a feeling they'll just make a bunch of vines and not make any tubers. It's probably the reason why you grow slips. Many, many months of growth, and I'm gonna plant these out. All of these slips were actually started from those potato halves that I had. I used the rest of the potatoes. When the potatoes start sprouting is when you take those off, put them in water, and then they root in. Sweet potatoes like really hot weather. If these don't make it, then I'll have to order from Burpee, and a lot of times they don't come in till June or July. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 potato halves. I think I'll put 2 in each. It is really important to water these in every day, maybe a couple times a day, until they're good and established. Because these roots have been living in water, and all of a sudden you're putting them in dirt and letting them dry out a little bit. So just keep that in mind. Nasturtium. I don't know if I showed this or not. I'm not completely in love with the placement, but maybe if I moved a grape there. I have not had good luck with my Thai butterfly pea plant. It just, I don't know, it just looks sickly and spindly. I don't know what the deal is. I have some moss rose that reseeded itself, and then I found some in the walkway as well that's seeded from last year. There's Winky and Poppy. Here is my walkway. I added these recently because they look amazing in the fall. Spirea. So that's what that is. It'll be great for pollinators too. But here, the cosmos look amazing right now. Next year I will get a mix with like some pinks and whites and purples in it. I put a butterfly bush here, another rose here. Ooh, we're gonna find out what color that is. I put some mint here from the garden at the house. celosia here, buddleia. So the pollinators should love this walkway. The roselle is going for it, lots of calyxes, so I'll have to make some tea or something from that. And the grapes are finally just taking off. That grape has had 3 or 4 transplants. And then I have nasturtium back there that's gonna get too hot. I was hoping that the grapes would create shade for it, but we'll see. Apparently the rabbits like that stalk right there, as they do my delphinium. So may not plant delphinium again. I would say so far that my struggles with carrots are pretty much, I have more confidence in carrots for the fall. I have more confidence in my corn, and I'm excited to rip up more of this wheat fabric, even though it does serve a purpose. Especially with Bermuda grass, you'll never hear a gardener not struggle with Bermuda grass if they have it. So it's good for the cows, not for the garden. And then my potatoes, I've always struggled with pests with potatoes, but I had really good luck with the potatoes, so I'm more confident in that. Now in the grow bags, I wasn't so confident. They didn't do well in there, but I think it's a light issue. And then the crop of the year that I really want to grow next year would be the peanuts, even though I haven't seen the results of the peanuts yet. But I think next year I will do a full bed of peanuts, if not more. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload most Wednesdays and all Sundays, and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.